Hey everyone, and welcome back to Life Beyond the Filter. I'm your host, Pinky, and today we're going to talk about something that's near and dear to my heart, a topic which have basically been all of my episodes up until now. But we're going to talk about friendship today and what 16 plus years of friendship looks like, how to maintain that friendship, and what I've learned throughout the friendship journey. So, come on, tune on in for my point of view on friendship and what it means to be a good friend, a good person, and yeah, come on in. Shot o'clock.
Betty, shot o'clock.
Shot o'clock.
So, for those of you who maybe have known me a while, this may be stuff you already know. If you don't know me or haven't known me a while, this will be new to you. But for those who've known me for a while, know that I've rocked with the same girl since I was a teenager. And that's Kiera and Tiffany. Tiffany and Kiera, Twin and Kiki. Those are my girls. And if you follow me on social media, then you see we just went on our girls trip. Believe it or not, y'all, that was our first girls trip of just the three of us. Yes, for 16 plus years of friendship, that's crazy. Many reasons why, but that's our first girls trip of us three going on together. Now, I've been on trips with Twin, I've been on trips with Key, but never all three of us together. And they've been on trips together, but again, never all three of us together. But it was magnificent, and we are already talking about when's the next 48 because it was nice. And yeah, so what drew me to Tiffany and Kiera? So, for starters, I've beaten this story out like a dead record, but I'm going to tell it again. So, Tiffany and I became best friends, and a lot of you know her as my sister because I refer to her as my sister, my twin. We look just alike, act just alike. So I do refer to her as my twin, but Tiffany and I actually met in high school. We were sophomores together at Truman High School, where we graduated from, and it was literally a homecoming day. We knew of each other, we seen each other, but we weren't friends. Didn't really have conversations prior to this incident. And it was our homecoming, our sophomore year, and all I know is we were in the gymnasium and it was two sisters looking for a hair tie. And they like, where's a hair tie? You got a hair tie? You got a hair tie? Me being nosy, I'm like, what do they need hair ties for? And I see Tiffany and I see others, and we're in the gym. And long story short, I put two and two together that these sisters, I presume, were looking for a hair tie so they can tie their hair up because they were going to fight Twin. And once I realized what was going on, I stepped in because if you know me, you know nothing like that's going to fly on my watch, even if I don't know you. So, needless to say, I stepped in. No fight happened because one, y'all not about to jump this girl by herself. Like, it's not going to happen. And yeah, honestly, we became best friends after that. And fast forward to, again, we went to the same high school. So we started to do everything together. Honestly, we became inseparable. And that's when Tiffany introduced me to our best friend, Kiera. Now, Kiera and Tiffany go back to dinosaur prehistoric times because they went to elementary school together. So, they went to elementary school together. So they have already been best friends, right? So then Tiffany had introduced Kiera and I together when we were about 15 or 16 years old. Kiera did hair. Kiera has always been coded hair. So I made an appointment for her to do my hair. Tiffany and I went together, and Kiera and I instantly hit it off too. The thing about me is I'm very childish. You either like it, love it, or absolutely hate it. I don't think anybody has hated me for it yet. Maybe they just haven't told me. I don't know. But it was some funny times with us that day, the first time we had met. I'll spare y'all, but it was some funny moments. I mean, that day on, me, Tiffany, and Kiera were all three best friends. How that's changed over the 16 plus years, obviously, we've matured. Yeah, we've all changed. How that changed now is we all are older, we're wiser, we've gone through, quite honestly, life together. From losing parents to loved ones to breakups and heartbreaks and everything, having kids, marriage, weddings, life, quite honestly, getting jobs, losing jobs, friendships that don't last along with us, that may drift off, etc. So honestly, we've changed a lot, but at the core, we are still those same silly 15-year-olds in Kiera's living room that she's going to swear up and down. That's not my house. In Kiera's living room, just cracking jokes and laughing hysterically. And that's still us. We get together, we laugh loud. They laugh loud. Let me clarify. They laugh loud. And it honestly makes me uncomfortable sometimes, especially when we're in public. But you can stop recording. But those are my girls and friendships. And even if it was related to this friend, I would share it with the other friend. And I just remember Twin telling me once, such and such is your friend, not my friend. They shouldn't know my business. And that has stuck with me even until now, and it's always going to stick with me. And I know some people may think, oh, that's common sense, loyalty. But honestly, it's really not, especially if you are teenagers. You all think you're cool, you laugh together and this, and you might not see someone else's intention as well as the other one because you could be blinded, or, you just might not see it or what have you. But honestly and truly, some people still do it at this grown age, but you have to understand that's true. Your friend's business is not your other friend's business. Even if you've brought them all together, it's all kumbaya, everybody gets along and talking just fine, you think everything is copacetic, it's still not your place to tell your friend's business to your other friend. Sit on that. Because again, a lot of you watching this may think that's common sense, but you probably have done it. And you'd be surprised that there's still people who do it now pretty actively. In fact, it's a turnoff for me if we're having a conversation and you're bad mouthing your friend. Just because you're mad at them, and in your mind it may be innocent, but I'm making a mental note in my head, because if you're telling me about this person and their problems, you don't have no loyalty to me, I presume. And this is not for those, oh, I'm mad at such and such because of these surface level issues, right? No, I'm talking about you're telling me this person's business, like deep, dark secrets that they wouldn't be okay with you saying this, and you wouldn't say it to their face even. Yeah, those are the secrets I'm talking about. And you should be surprised that people at my grown age. Yeah, still do that. Yeah. Now I want to get to what showing up as a friend looks like, right? Because it looks different to everyone. You can't expect the you out of others, but you also cannot expect someone to read your mind for what you feel that you need. Tiffany has shown up for everything. Everything. Absolutely everything. Except for one instance. And I had to communicate with her about it because it was one of the most important instances to me. But after discussing it, one, she's shown up for everything prior to, right? So really, how upset can I be? And two, this instance, I know that she never liked these events. It was too much for her. It was honestly too much for her. And that is a reason why she hadn't shown up. And then I had to step back too. Have I shown up for everything for her? So it was a reality check. But it was a good observation to just honestly dive into how do I show up as a friend versus how others show up as friends, and do I really have room to talk? Kiera didn't show up to anything. She's gonna get so mad at me. But okay, I'm not gonna edit that out actually because it's a transparency moment. Earlier on, Kiera didn't show up for a lot. Now, let me instantly say this. Kiera lost her mom when we were 17 years old. I remember that day like yesterday. That's why I'm very, very protective over Kiera. I'm very protective over Tiffany and Kiera. If you know me, you know that about me. You know I've never played about them. Go back to the first time Tiffany and I became best friends. I never played about them. I don't take our friendship lightly. I just really can't play about that. So I say this to say Kiera had to figure out a lot on her own early on in our friendship. I met Kiera when she was 15. 2 years later, her mom passed away. Tragically. Kiera had to do a lot of growing up because she had no other choice. So when I say jokingly, oh, Kiera didn't show up for anything in the beginning, Kiera was busy having to pave the way for her life without her mother. Her father had already passed away when she was a baby. So having to navigate the world without your parents, without you have family, I'll leave it at that. But Kiera, now I'm all serious now. My friends are near and dear to my heart. Never played about them. Never will play about them. They don't even have an option to end this friendship till death do us part, quite honestly. I hope they know that. I'm sure they do. No, but in all sincerity, in all honesty, we show up for each other. Earlier on, we had life going on and things may get in the way, but that's what shows how the strongest will stand, because something we've grew up doing is communicating. We express with one another when we feel a way about what one has said to one, or what was said, what was done. We have always been very blunt in our communication and our feelings. And I know that's 100% of why we have maintained this friendship all these years. We don't sugarcoat stuff with each other. Sometimes it gets ugly. Like, we'll be yelling, cussing. I mean, mad, ready to square up. But we would never fight each other, by the way. But that communication and that passion is why we've made it this far. Why nobody could ever convince me that they're bad people, or nobody can ever convince them that I'm a bad person, or whatever the case may be. Our communication and how we are with each other, we know each other through and through. We grew up together. I'm so grateful that I got to meet Kiara's mother before she left this earth. So I knew and I know why Kiara is the way she is and why she goes so hard. I am so grateful that I got to meet Tiffany's dad before he left this earth. So I knew why she a little crazy like she is. But I say all this to say, man, I feel for you if you haven't been able to get sincere, genuine friendships like I have. And I really feel for you because who are now my family, the cousins, they're not biased. They're not biased. A little bit, but they're going to tell me like it is. Showing up in friendships to me looks like being there even when it's hard, even when you're tired, even when you don't feel at your best to show up. That's when it's most important to. I need you to be and not the friend you want to be, right? I was just talking about this the other day. What real friendship means to me now is friendship that I don't have to question. Let me elaborate. We spend so much time wondering and worrying about what to eat, what to wear, how to get our hair done, which makeup shade, what nail color, everything we have to decide about and question. I don't want to have to question my friends. I don't want to have to worry if I can trust you with information. I don't want to have to censor who I am about you. And that's what friendship means to me now. It means that I don't have to question your authenticity. I've forced relationships, period, beyond the capacity of what that individual can uphold. I have no desire on forcing any relationship. If I have to question you, if I have to question your authenticity, if I have to question your intentions, if I have to question anything, and if I'm unsure, I would rather not have you in my life. We locked in, ain't no switch. I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. Yeah, I know this is probably one of our shorter episodes, but it is what friendship looks like to me. And it's maybe shorter because it's really self-explanatory. It's messy, it's real, and it's absolutely worth it. And if you have someone in your life that made you feel like my girls make me feel, and that relationships go through seasons, and you maybe haven't explained to them how you feel about certain situations or what have you, you haven't been good on your communication, or you feel like they haven't, long overdue for y'all to have a conversation, let them know. Let them know. They need to hear it. And as always, thank you. Tag your besties in the comments, actually. Tag them in the comments. Have them watch this. And y'all get together and make time for each other, because that's one thing I left out that I shouldn't have. It was an accident. Make time for your friends. Make time for your friend groups. I don't care how busy you are, how busy you claim to be. Make time, because I'm going to be honest. What I learned too, you make time for who and what you want to make time for. And that is no lie. No lie. You make time for who and what you want to make time for. Call them up, tag your bestie, and I'll see y'all next week. And if it resonated with you, as always, drop me a comment and let me know what part resonated. And we can talk about it on next time's episode. I was going to say next week, but I told y'all bi-weekly now. See you later. Bye.